Good morning and welcome back to Mojospresso, a caffeine-inspired shot of inspiration and perspective to help you on your Friday with the goal to win the morning and win the day. Okay, some good news. Hopefully, we're doing another Zoom public masterclass on September the 29th at 7:30. Now, it's a ticketed event, but it's free for Mojo members. So go to mojocrow.com/events and our ticket window hopefully will be open this afternoon. And if you buy a ticket, watch it with your family or partners or housemates and socialise the principles. And you just get more value out of one ticket. Okay, so this week's theme, and it's a topic we talk about a lot at a high level, but we really dive deeper, especially in a way that can help us through difficult times. And that is the power of imperfection. And I know it sounds strange, power of imperfection, so we almost got to break it down a little so we can dial it up and actually search for it, because it's beautiful once we understand how to harness its power. At Mojo, one of our favorite expressions is embrace your weird, which basically means celebrate our imperfections and individuality and not give a shit what others think about us or expect us to be. So we embrace our authenticity and embrace others. But the main reason imperfection is so important to understand right now is life itself is imperfect. The pandemic has proven that. It's also uncertain and unexpected and unscripted and unpredictable. And while it can suck at times, like through pandemics, we need to acknowledge it and accept it so that we can work through it. Because here's the thing, imperfections are also bloody beautiful, but we're often missing them. And one reason we're missing them is we're so distracted today, caught up in craving recognition of others and caring what others are thinking about us and saying about us. And we get caught up in this ridiculous perfection myth and create these unrealistic, imaginary expectations that we can never live up to. And this focus on others' opinions, this perfectionism, is blinding and distracting us from these beautiful, small imperfections, these little moments that happen in every day. By the way, we define imperfections as those little things, the nuances, the idiosyncrasies, the subtle glances, the self-deprecating humour, the nicknames, the laughter, the tears, the stories. That's the imperfect gold. And understanding their powers and looking for more of these in our everyday lives can help us deal with the macro imperfection that surrounds the universe right now. One of the best aspects of celebrating your imperfections is it just takes the pressure off. Yeah, whenever I give a talk, my pre-match mantra is, I'm imperfect and I'm worthy. And this immediately takes the pressure off and brings things back down to earth. But so does humor and rhyming slang and nicknames. Nicknames are most people's favorite form of imperfection. When you take a perfect name and give it an imperfect nickname, it creates a connection and a bond and a sense of belonging deeper than the relationship was beforehand. Yeah, if you want to make someone feel like they belong, a nickname that has a light-hearted story behind it is gold. So see if you can create one for someone today with good intention, of course. So if you want to start celebrating imperfections, just start small. Find something you normally would berate yourself for and celebrate it with a laugh. And if you catch yourself shaking your head, smiling and saying, can't believe I just did that, you're starting to catch on. Or maybe find something that would otherwise make you angry and practice smiling and saying to yourself, you can't make this shit up. That's been one of my most used mantras this year. Embracing imperfection enables you to be adaptive too. Our first Mojospresso episode a year ago was in a makeshift office with sticky tape and a stack of books and a stepladder and cold instant coffee. But we had so much fun in this backyard job and we laugh about it now. There's a story behind that now. So maybe see if you can turn your home into some imperfect makeshift solution. It might be a home gym with makeshift materials or a home office or an obstacle course or an old-fashioned lemonade stand. One of my best descriptions for me on imperfection actually comes from a movie, actually my favourite movie, and favourite actor for that matter, Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting, when he says to Matt Damon that his wife used to fart in her sleep. And one night got so loud she woke the dog up, and one night woke herself up. Robin Williams went off-piste in this scene, so no one knew what he was going to say. And if you watch closely, and I highly recommend Googling on YouTube, you'll see the camera shaking in this scene because the cameraman is laughing so hard. But what he said next was so profound. He said, we call these things imperfections, but no, that's the good stuff. The little things, the idiosyncrasies that only I knew about, the little things that made her my wife. He said, she's been dead 2 years, and they're the things I miss the most. If we don't celebrate the little nuances and imperfections in ourselves and in others, we miss out on so much. The great philosopher Ferris Bueller once said, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. One of my favourite Australian stories of celebrating imperfection at the moment comes from our nation's capital in Canberra. A few months back, when Canberra had its first COVID case, the lucky bastards, the minister held a press conference, and the guy checking the automated subtitles down the bottom accidentally overlooked a word. And instead of the minister saying, I'd like to thank Ken Behrens, the text read, I'd like to thank Ken Behrens. Now, everyone was asking themselves, who the hell's Ken Behrens? Obviously, no one knew because he didn't exist. But instead of locals taking offence at this imperfection, this mistake, they took the piss. They celebrated it, and the whole of Canberra have got behind this new cult hero, Ken Behrens. Even their rugby league team, the Canberra Raiders, changed their name to the Ken Behren Raiders, with t-shirts popping up overnight. You see, connection is why we're here as humans. It's why we exist. But here's the thing, it's our imperfections that connect humans the most. Deep down, we know we're flawed. We know we're imperfect, but that helps us relate to each other. We look differently, we laugh differently, we walk and talk differently, and that's okay. Easily one of my favorite imperfect brands is Movember. 30 mates of mine from 20 years ago from my school, Whitefriars College, got together to have a bit of fun and create a men's health fundraiser based on the concept of growing a Mexican porn stash in the month of November and seeing who could grow the worst mustache for men's health. Well, this ridiculous, imperfect idea has gone on to become the fastest growing charity in the world, and $1 billion later, donating to over 1,200 campaigns, right? It's the imperfection of growing that mustache, which is the bond that has made that brand so successful. In the US, the only NFL team that is 100% owned by the fans is the Green Bay Packers. And for the last 50 years, their fans have been mocked by rival fans, calling them the cheeseheads because of all the cheese factories in Wisconsin. Well, rather than be offended, the fans said screw it and embraced being cheeseheads. And today, hundreds of millions of dollars later, people come from all over the world to buy these cheesehead merchandise. Perspective is everything here. In Japan, they have a beautiful philosophy called wabi-sabi, which means coming to terms with our imperfections and weaknesses and finding beauty in that. One of these practices they call kintsugi, where they mend broken objects with gold fillings, these golden scars to make them more beautiful. So if a bowl or a teapot gets dropped on the floor, most of us throw it away. But in this philosophy, they bring the pieces together and they glue them with liquid gold, or gold scars, as they call them. So while they're permanently flawed, they believe they're more beautiful than they were before. Wabi-sabi reminds us that there's beauty in broken things because these scars tell a story. They demonstrate resilience or overcoming adversity. So if you've got scars on your body, I guarantee there's a beautiful story behind there. So don't hide your imperfections or your wrinkles or your golden scars when we're meant to celebrate them. So to try and win the day today, look for imperfections throughout your day. Yeah, find a barista who speaks English as a second language, Italian or Spanish, and then ask them to teach you to say good morning in their native tongue, and then watch them laugh their ass off when you get it wrong, but love you for trying. I try this every morning with Stefania, my favourite barista at Bruno's, and while my Italian sucks, it's often the very first laugh that I have every day. Or maybe just find an in-joke to share with a mate who can relate to your humour. That's why memes go crazy on WhatsApp groups. Or maybe just find something to be self-deprecating about and then be self-deprecating, yeah? Or if you have a lot of time on your hands, maybe do what football fans and Barmy Army fans do so well and create a song or poem based on your favourite player. And if you're a Ted Lasso fan, maybe just sing the Roy Kent song or the Jamie Tart song throughout your day. Imperfections create stories, and stories of imperfections connect humans the most. It might be a dream you had last night. Yeah? Try and remember if you had a dream, and if you did, share the story with someone else. I guarantee the more bizarre the dream, the funnier and stronger the connection you're about to make with someone will be. So today, find ways to celebrate imperfections and embrace your weird. And if you're looking for more stimulus, I highly recommend the Imperfects podcast, an entire podcast dedicated to imperfection with Josh and Ryan and Hugh. And as one of my favourite humans, Marilyn Monroe, once said, imperfection is beauty, madness is genius, and it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. Okay, that's it for another episode of Mojospresso. Our ticket window will be open this afternoon for our masterclass on September the 29th. And until next time, I will love you and leave you and see you on the other side in the soup. Bye for now.